science in Web3 and calling it the fundamental layer. Today, we're going to talk about how to raise the benchmark of digital literacy with open source education. So, how many of you guys have heard of something like a learn to earn type of program? Raise your hand. Now, okay. Do you guys believe that's a good approach towards education? Yes? Okay. How many of you believe is not a good approach? Cool, cool. Well, today we're going to try to offer an alternative. So, the internet has been around for about 30 years, and in 2024, it's a norm for smartphones to be a necessity. And it's a standard to have the latest one. Parallels can be drawn between staying connected and staying alive. The internet is probably only second to air. What would we do without it? Well, if it's so important, why is the general benchmark of digital literacy so low? Why isn't there any standardized internet education curriculums in schools, in workplaces, in institutions of any scale? We get new hardware upgrades regularly. New phones, new computers, tablets, VR goggles. The gap between technical innovation and digital literacy will only grow wider and wider. General consumers' benchmark of fundamental knowledge just simply cannot keep up with the rate of technical growth. Having poor digital literacy is like driving without a seatbelt. You can get away with it, but until you get into some trouble. It makes you vulnerable, and it puts you at risk at a lot of liabilities. So at the University of Ethereum, we started this initiative not because we're professional educators, nor are we experts on the Ethereum protocol. We are problem solvers and resource aggregators, believing and carrying the ethos and values of open source mentality. We believe that education should not be a privilege. It's anyone's right. So it's one of our goals at the university to make blockchain education as intuitive and accessible as possible to all corners of the world. To build a proof of concept based on how blockchain can be fundamentally introduced and then use the same method to raise digital literacy in general. Our approach. Our education philosophy is fairly simple. Introduce bite-sized content through localized analogies and making the learning process as fun as possible. There are roughly 170 core concepts to the Ethereum blockchain. And we turned each concept into analogy-based stories, so all age groups can relate and can understand. However, different cultures from different parts of the world have different scopes of what relevant content is. Analogies won't work if people can't relate. So part of the University of Ethereum efforts is to build a global community to help contribute to localized content. Currently, we're in over 120 different countries and 6 continents. Now that we had bite-sized content, we built a piece of AI technology that helps validate your comprehension. It's based on the Feynman technique. If you guys know Richard Feynman, he said, if you can't explain something in simple terms, you don't understand it. So instead of learn and earn programs where you just click, 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 multiple choice questions, which is more about how fast you can click, we offer open-ended questions. After you go through each bite-sized content, you have to summarize what you have learned, and the AI validates whether you learned the information well enough or not. If not, it also can offer suggestions to better your answer. This is the free blockchain tool that we have built, and we're continuously trying to make it better. We have 5 different language packs at the moment, and we are working on audio playback. So join our community, and let's help raise the benchmark of digital literacy together, starting from blockchain. In conjunction to using AI to problem solve, I would like to introduce my friend and colleague, Calvin, to shine some light on reality.
So we are doing a reality check today. Reality does not exist anymore. The information age is over. Let the disinformation age begin. Those are the headlines after Sora, another text-to-video AI, was announced. Sora is awesome, scary, and one step closer to killing reality. In a world filled with generated content, how do we separate the real from the unreal? When technology can create anything, how do we safeguard the truth? In an era where seeing is no longer believing, how do we trust what we see? These questions may puzzle a lot of people. The answer, however, should be obvious for the builders, like many of you here today. Blockchain as an infrastructure is designed to provide immutable records, a way to show indisputable proof of authenticity. So what do I mean by that? Consider an article published by the New York Times. Instead of saving the content to their private servers, it is saved to a decentralized storage, such as Arweave. The New York Times editor signed the content to prove its authenticity. Then all interviewees signed the content to authenticate their participation. Only signed content now will be considered as authentic, no matter how often it's syndicated or forwarded. The source of truth remains intact. To fortify the chain of trust, other tools may also be needed. A registry proving the authenticity of entities so that we know the New York Times is the New York Times that we know. Also, zero-knowledge proofs can be used to preserve the privacy of the signers. Moreover, blockchain, when combined with AI, promises to unlock true data sovereignty. Yet, that's a topic for another day. Confronted with the perils of disinformation through generated content, the need for an authentication protocol is immediate. The technology is already available in the Web3 space, but it is a call to action for us as a community to adopt and advocate for using blockchain as the foundation of digital truth. By building this protocol, we protect not just our reality, but the truth. While many today perceives Web3 as a domain of price speculation, Web3 builders, have already built tools to safeguard reality. In a world where the line between real and fake increasingly blurs, Web3 stands as a testament to the truth, an unexpected tool for due diligence, protecting the integrity of what we see, what we read, and what we share. Thank you.